Hello, good people. Welcome to another episode of Mental Health Awareness with Counselor Grace. I'm happy to do this with you and to create that awareness to each and every one of us, to educate each and every one of us, and also to help each and every one of us to get from that deep pit of self-pity. Okay, today, as the topic suggests, we're going to discuss about toxic parenting. Hey, I know it's a topic that is very sensitive. I know when I talk about parent, it feels like a taboo. People don't want to talk about it. It feels like uh, something that should not be discussed, something that should be discussed where people are whispering. But today, we're going to discuss it openly because when parents are supposed to love and care for us, but unfortunately, the love hurts. It has to be something else. What happens when love hurts? When you expect your parent to love you, to pamper you, take care of you, and now all of a sudden, because of not knowing better, they start harming you, knowingly or unknowingly, intentionally or unintentionally. Uh, it doesn't matter because it leaves a mark. Toxic parents, I would define them as parents who their behaviors, whether they were intentional or not, consistently harm their child's emotional well-being. Okay? We are not judging them. We are not judging them because this stems from their own unresolved issues. They also had issues that they were dealing with, that or even right now they are still dealing with, but they don't know how to handle them. So they project the unsolved issues. They have stress and pressures of life. Yeah. So because of lacking the better way to do it, they take that pressure and put it on the child, and because it soothes their pain, and also lack of awareness. Most of our parents didn't have access to the information that we have access today, so they lacked the information that create awareness about the emotional well-being, emotional intelligence. Okay, so we cannot judge them. We are here to help ourselves so that we can become good parents, so that we can parent differently, so that we cannot pass those cycle of generational harm. We now bring it to an end so that we can parent intentionally, so that we can bring about a generation that is emotionally healthy, that they can stand for themselves, a generation that can express themselves without feeling guilty, and a generation that knows that when this happens, that this should be what I have. I should seek help. In the past generation which our parents come from, it became like a taboo, or it is like a taboo to seek help. You are going to seek help. Are you weak? Can't you handle this? But right now you are telling you people or everyone, your future parent or your parent currently, it is not weak to seek help. By the way, when you take that first step of seeking help, it shows that you are strong enough to accept that you cannot do it alone. Let's look at the signs that you were raised by a toxic parent, or things that toxic parents did or they are still doing, because there are some still what are doing it right now. Okay, one is emotional neglect. Okay, they tend to neglect the emotional well-being of their children, and also to ignore or invalidate their children's feeling. For example, if a child is depressed, for example, they tend to think that they are attention seeking. They're just attention seekers. Why are you sleeping the whole day? Why are you lazy? They feel like these children are attention seeking. Also, this aspect of asking a child, unalia nini, as if a child doesn't know any way better to express their emotion. The best way they can express their emotion is by crying so that they can create attention, somebody can attend to them. And then now a child here cries, but somebody bashed them. Unalia nini. So that aspect of neglecting the emotional well-being of their children, it's a clear sign that was a toxic parent. Next one, number 2, over controlling. Yes, African parents or our parents, they tend to have this aspect of over controlling us, such that you're constantly dictating what your child should do, the choices they should make, and this help they suppressed the independence. The child have no that individuality. They cannot make decisions on themselves, or they cannot comment on what they want. For example, I'll give you an example. When it comes to choosing the course a child want to do in the tertiary level, you find that the parents are too much involved. To an extent, they don't want to know the strengths and weaknesses of the child. They don't want to know the likes and the passion of the child, but they are here forcing issues and saying you are going to do this course. Okay, you're going to do medical field course because they felt that if, as for them, they started that this is what they could have ended up being. So they want their child to live what they never lived. Okay, so they are over controlling. They want to know every bit of your life, whether you're in toilet, whether you're with your friends, wherever, everywhere you go, you lost the independence because they want to control. Yes, I know that according to them, they thought that knowing your details help them to make them feel safe about you, or they know that you're safe wherever you are or in whatever you are doing. But that's not the case. That makes child to be so clinging to an extent, even in their adulthood, they cannot make decisions on their own. They cannot be independent. They always look for someone to cling on so that they can help them in decision making. Another thing is manipulation. Our parents were good at manipulation. They used to use guilt and fear to control our behavior. This aspect of using something that you did so that they can control what you are doing. If you do this, I'll do this. They instill fear in us. That fear causes someone even to have anxiety. Criticism. Criticism is not something bad. Because when someone criticizes you positively, they help you to look at to review yourself in a very balanced way. But when criticism is too much, it is toxic. So they tend to criticize so much and focusing so much on your flaws and your weaknesses, neglecting your strength. For example, maybe you are not good at you're not good at going to farm because you are raised when you are going to farm. You're not good at weeding, and maybe the rest are good at it. But maybe you are good and gifted in books. Upstairs, you are smart, but the parent will concentrate on that. You are lazy. You cannot weed. You cannot do this. But they forget that you also have your gifted side. So that over concentration on your flaws and criticizing you, always hitting on that weak point, really hurt the emotional well-being. Point number 5 is lack of boundaries. I know this sounds so awkward. Our parents, or as parents, we don't respect the children's privacy, and we don't let them become individual. They don't have the individuality. Telling an African parent to respect their child's boundary. It's good also as a parent, the way you want the child to respect your boundary, that they cannot just get into your room without knocking. Practice that as well, because that is one of the way of showing that you respect them and you set boundaries, because respect is the way. But no, because our parents didn't know, they didn't know better. They believed that this is my house and I can do whatever I want anytime to whoever, so they lacked boundaries, and that has caused even as parents, because we are currently parenting, we find ourselves not having boundaries towards our children, and it really hurts them. It really causes a lot of lowering their self-esteem and feeling like we are invading their spaces. Okay, point number 6 is verbal abuse or use of offensive words towards their children. Okay, this happens this way. Literally, the parent would either abuse the child or use statements that would be offensive to a child or would cause pain, like you are useless, you'll never make it, like how are you walking, in this teenage stage where everyone want to define their walking style and to determine their way of dressing and yes, they instead of guiding you in a positive way and telling you, no, this is not the way to go, they hurl unto you very very hurting phrases, like you're useless, you'll never make it, because you've just maybe hurt them, or you have just collided, of which that's a norm. And this really caused people to hamper a lot of hurt in them, because they cannot reply. They cannot answer their parent. That is the word. They cannot answer their parent because they are parent. Okay? Another one is number 7 is selfish wishes. Yes, at times our parents, because of the things that they were undergoing in life, they used to have to express very selfish wishes. Like, I wish you were never born. I regret having you. I wish you were a different child. And this is emanating from a point of regret. Maybe they gave birth to you when it was not the right time according to them or according to the societal expectation. And they feel like you closed doors for them to be maybe wherever they wanted to be or to reach the opportunities they did to have reached. And once in a while, when they are angry at you, they have those statements. I wish you were never born. I regret having you. I wish you were a different child. I wish you came at different time, you know? And these selfish wishes that they express unknowingly because they talk, they not something that they sit down and plan. These are things that emanate from them when they are angry, when they are not at ease, really hurt the child's well-being. Another thing is unhealthy comparison. Okay, this one I know so many people can relate with, where a parent would take another child and compare you with, why can't you be like so and so? Okay, why can't you do like so and so? Why can't you behave like so and so? Why can't you how can't you associate with so and so? This really harms child esteem, and not just in their childhood, even in their adulthood. They tend to feel that they are not good enough. They tend to feel like they are less of human beings, that others are better than them, so they just give way. They cannot even compete. They cannot even set that competition with other who are their age mates. They also, if especially the comparison comes from siblings, maybe you are comparing the first one with your last one, or you are comparing this child with this child, it, it brings about sibling rivalry. I don't know whether you have gotten this aspect of siblings saying, "Mimi hata sijui tulikosania wapi. I've never done something wrong to them." But this is emanating from the comparison that the parents were giving them. When you took the child A and compared with child B, yet people are gifted differently. Yes, that child who you used to be compared and used to feel like they are degraded, that they are not considered, their strengths are never looked into, they tend to develop undescribed hatred towards the child who mother felt like or the father felt like is the best child. Okay. They also had the issue of abandonment, child neglect, and threat to abandon. I know maybe a number of you have experienced abandonment, or your parents just neglected you and just left you without caring who will take care of you and how will be taken care of. Let me tell you, this goes a long way into emotional health of your child. The child develop trust issues. Yes, a fear of abandonment, even in future, even in adulthood, they tend to have trust issues. They cannot trust anyone because even for example, is quoting, they feel like the spouse will just leave them unannounced. They feel like abandonment is something that always come their way, and they love themselves. They are very defensive, and parents didn't know that this will cost their children this much, and they are there asking, "Utaolewa lini? Kwa nini hujatuletea msichana? You know?" And it's because of the things they did that they didn't resonate with them, but right now they are costing your children so much, or they are costing us so much. Then there are these empty promises. You know, a parent is promising you something because they want you to do better, especially in academics. When you do this, I'll do this. When you achieve this, I'll buy this. In clear, they are not maybe in a position to, but they are not ready to come and express this to you and tell you like, yes, I promised this to you, but unfortunately right now I'm not in a financial position to give you this. You know, they don't feel they are not entitled to explain it to you. That's our parent. They, kwani nitamwelezea yeye ni nani? Kwani haoni sina pesa? And it's understandable from their perspective, but this makes the child have also trust issues. They cannot trust anyone. Why? Because people always trust and fails them. I mean, promise and fails them. Promise and fails them. So they feel like, to avoid being hurt, let me withdraw the trust thing. I'll not trust anybody. If it comes, let it come, but I'll not expect anything from anyone. Okay? Those empty promises. And when you ask, it's like now you are creating a fight. Mom uliniambia utaninunulia. Oh, do you think you're the only child? Do you think you're the only thing that I'm dealing with? So it becomes and caused havoc. So let's avoid those empty promises. And then sarcastic and offensive statement. That is the last one. Our parents used to be so sarcastic that they used to use statements that are not, they are not even supposed to be uttered in the first place. For example, you are ugly, you are too fat, you're too skinny, you know, and this caused our children to have self-doubt in themselves. They tend to have, they don't believe in themselves. They always feel like whatever, the parent is a primary caregiver, is someone who brings the child up in the stages where they create their foundation. If mom or dad or my guardian said this and uttered this, it's true, because they cannot lie. And the child have self-doubt, they don't believe in themselves, they have low confidence, they have low self-esteem. Do you resonate with what we've discussed? Is it familiar with you? I know it's familiar with so many people. If it's familiar with you, don't worry. Healing is a journey. It's not a destination. We are going to work on it. And in our next video, we are going to discuss on how we can heal those traumas that are caused by our toxic parents and set new boundaries with our parents. Yes, we can set new boundaries to avoid more harm. And also we can help them realize and heal their own traumas, their own unresolved issues. Thank you so much for watching this video. It goes a long way. Please like, share, subscribe, watch to the end. And when I say like, I mean, when you like, YouTube tend to recommend this video to so many people. Let this information reach as many people as possible so that we can heal together. In the next video, we are going to discuss the journey of healing these traumas, because I don't want this video to be so lengthy. I want to be a video that you can spare you a few minutes and watch, and so next that way. So let's discuss how we can deal, and we can set our boundaries, and we can heal, and we can start our healing journey in the next video. Thank you so much, and bye for now.